Hello, good morning, good evening, good night. How are you? All good? So, welcome to this last day of the mental week of um, of Libra. So today we close with the circuit of the uh, mind dualities. So just to say something before we start, I would like to remind you that the things that we are discussing every day and that I wrote in the blog um, are all things that come, is all information that comes that's this specific day. So each day is different, and I have no idea I'm going to write or talk about until until the day begins. Okay. So the only thing that I just prepared a few months ago is the information that we read every day before the alignment, which would be the statement, the information. Okay, so why sometimes it mixes with the information that we are talking about, and sometimes they have nothing in common. So, so another thing that I wanted to say is that in case it maybe create some confusion on the writings in blog, the conversation between I and am. This is not that I is Matthias and am is a superior being that is talking to me and giving me like classes of life. No, this is myself, different aspects. So it's not someone that I am channeling, it's myself, okay? But in different levels of consciousness. So also many of the issues that I'm discussing there, maybe you would say, why do you have this so much questions or so many doubts of life? But what really happened is that I had these conversations with myself many years ago, and now I'm trying to take them back so it's useful for you, because I usually do this in a tree, in a mountain, by myself in my own life, and now I decided to put that for everyone. Okay. So sometimes maybe you are asking an example, and sometimes some of the topics that I'm discussing are from other dimensions or from my inner self, and I don't have any comparison with the human life. So this is why sometimes I don't have examples as a human, and my issues are very philosophical in the conversation. So that's it. So sometimes I've heard people like saying, "Oh, it's like very hard," or it seems like a tyranny when he says to you, and like maybe you disagree with some of the things, but the thing is that for me is not hard, is sincere, and and for me it's like me having a conversation with myself. Is not someone that is that is the truth of everything. Each one has its own way to receive the information from the higher self. So it's mine. Hmm? So let's go to it. So we close the cycle. So today is the Taurus. So it's very big, is holding everything. So this is why the topic is also very big, which is nothing and everything. So another thing that I've read that some people were asking is if the one that I have in the conversation with is the double quantic. I don't know if in English you say it like that. But no, it's not that. The double quantic, the projection in the quantum reality, because in such a way, when you say double, it means a separation. Someone projected, so it's also related with the laws of time and space. So it's not that. The is precisely the essence of myself. So that's it. Is the essence. It's not someone divided or projected. Okay. So let's go to this. The everything and the nothing. I don't know if there is much to add to what I wrote today in the blog. I think it's very clear what is written there. So to begin to explain a little bit about this, to understand a little bit more about is that we usually put the everything and the nothing, like if they are opposite, as everything we are discussing in these days, like if they are separate aspects, but they are complementary, and now we are going to explain why. So first of all, let's start to analyze this, that we are totality beings, and this means that we are part of the whole, of the everything. So we are a tiny part of the everything. So for us, the everything means everything. So this is why what we try to do is, if we are tiny parts of the reality, what we do through all our life is try to put all these different parts together to make a meaning out of them, so we could understand the whole, the totalitarian aspect of the universe. So basically, being part of the whole, of the everything, what we understand is that each tiny little part is a unity in itself. So what we are trying to do is to find the unity of all those aspects. So for us, in the side of the universe that we call the everything, what we are looking for as the final goal of our system is unity. As we are all united, we can understand the whole. So the first step of what we do in our life is to separate the whole into different pieces. So we divide all these different pieces so we could analyze each one of the parts by separating. So the next step that we use to do in our process of growth is to find these pieces and put them together, seek the joints of each one of them, so we can understand how they fit each other. Okay, like a big puzzle. So so this concept of putting all the things together is the process of joint, and picture this, that the process of joint it doesn't matter if they match or not. What you are trying to do is just to put all the things together. It doesn't matter if they are different, but what you are trying to do is to put them all in the same process. So this is the beginning of what we call the isms. Okay, so like capitalism, communism, all the isms are trying to put to joint different aspects that were separated all together. So put all the things together is like taking all the different parts of the puzzle, but pushing them by a movement, ism, all together in one spot, but they are not connected. They are just all together, and you say, yes, but all of this must be together, okay? So the next step of this would be to understand the purpose and the place and the qualities that each one of the pieces has. So what is the place that this piece has to play in this puzzle? So this is what we call unity. Unity, when you start to place the pieces where they belong. So you do that by the thing called connection. So allowing the pieces to understand the place where they belong, to understand the potentialities that each one of them has. So by nature, they start to connect with others. So they start to resound. They start to connect with the others, with the rest. So by this natural process, they start to be united through connection. Okay? So in order to do this, you don't need to gather anyone. It's a natural process that happens. So of course that in the pieces, there are some of them that maybe are the first one that you put, and that one is the one saying, from here you can begin, you can start. But each one of the pieces is as important as the other one, because all of them creates the image of the whole. So having this image, we can picture the need of humans to belong to something. So this is when we understand the need of humans to belong to a family, to a group, to a society, to a culture, to a religion, to a species, to a race. So the reason why we need to belong is because when I belong, I can recognize myself and I can understand is my part on the group. I can recognize the purpose that I have there. Otherwise, I wouldn't see it. So this is when I put myself in the place where I belong. Suddenly, my whole body starts to feel relaxed because now I know that I am part of a whole. So there will come some day that even if you have been relaxed because now you belong, say, you will start to feel like you are trapped because suddenly in this puzzle, all the other pieces around you are holding so tight that you can't move. So it's in that moment when I feel so trapped that I feel the need of go beyond and to set myself free from this network. But what will happen after I set myself free from that network is that I lose the sense of the everything. I lose everything. And there is when I find myself in front of the concept of nothing. So the concept that we usually have is that we are alone, that there is nothing, that doesn't have any meaning. Is the entire void. So it's in that moment when I recognized that the everything for me was to belong, was protection, was stability. So suddenly, when I just get the everything, I picture the whole idea from above, and suddenly I say, what is the purpose of this? What is the meaning? There's nothing beyond. I die and what? Shadow, anything. And void. So all of us someday we have gone through or we will go through the process of facing the absolute void where there is nothing and you perceive the biggest loneliness you may ever experience, that there's nothing. So there will come this moment when you recognize that, oh, I am the nothing. So this is the moment when we go to the origin of the word nothing. Nothing comes from the word nata, that is the participle. I don't know how to say the word. Well, it's the origin of the word to be born. Natalis. Natalis. Nata. Nativitas. So this means to born, to give birth. So with the time, the concept of being born, nata, was used to express the idea that something that is just being gestated hasn't been born yet. So in sentences like this hasn't been born yet, in Latin you would say this this wasn't nata. Okay, so it turned into the concept of into the negative concept of this is void, because what is being gestated hasn't arrived yet. So this is why the concept of nothing came from the idea of being born. So this brings us that the universe is a being that has been in the process of gestation in the womb that we call void. So this is why vacuum, the void, is what we could call the womb of the universe, where you gestate the reality. So the nothing could give birth to the reality. So from there are born the sons and daughters of nothing that we call the everything. So basically we are the childs of nothing. So this is one of the great concepts that we have to transform, of what is everything and what is nothing. So this is why in our human life, everything will take us to give a meaning to the whole. but at the end of the path, we are going to find the nothing. So this is why when we talk about to come back to the origin, what we are going to do is to go back to the womb. And the womb is the void. The moment before we were born, the nothing. So this is why when you may read or hear enlightened ones, masters, guides, or whoever have experienced the closest connection with mind, with the very origin and the moment of creation, what all of them will describe is the void, nothing. Because the is the most closest thing that we could have to explain what we are. So remember the example that the everything is basically this puzzle where you are just a piece and you are stuck in that piece in between many other pieces. So this is why we have this kind of feeling that in the everything we feel trapped in this kind of network, and in the nothing we're free. So basically what we could ask ourselves is, so if we feel free in the nothing, why have we created the everything? Why we have created all this matter? So try to remember what we have spoken yesterday. What for? What is the closest answer to why? So yes, the answer, the easiest answer is for nothing. No sense, for nothing. So now it would be why? Why for nothing? Why without sense, without meaning? Why? Why create everything just for nothing? So the answer is very easy. It's because it's the only way in which you can be free in the process of creation. So imagine that you are the best artist and suddenly someone from behind tells you, hey, you are the greatest artist ever, but you have a purpose in your life, and this is your purpose. So you have to do this and this to accomplish your purpose. Suddenly, you are not an artist anymore. Now you are a missionary, and you are stuck in order to accomplish your mission and your purpose in life. So the reason why the nothing creates the everything without a purpose, without a meaning, is to set the everything free. to create. So basically, um, everything that exists in life, everything that exists in reality, exists as a tool, as brushes, pencils, colors. So this is basically what we do in our lives, basically, is to learn how to use the brushes, how to use these pencils, how to use the colors to make our own creation. So basically, what I have to understand for myself is what are the colors and the pencils that I have within? How do I use them to create? So now we have to ask ourselves this question: if each one of us is a tiny little cell of one of the billions that create the body of the universe, so who makes the decisions? The cells, each one of the cells, or the mind of the universe? So picture that our whole life we have been doing to give the power to the mind of the universe, as if we are not part of that mind. So basically, in order for the cosmos to exist, for a body to exist, we need a cell, and the potential within the cell called DNA. Without the tools of the DNA, a cell cannot create a body. So this is why it's not the great universe that creates the idea and the purpose of everything, but is each tiny cell that in its process of evolution creates the idea of what the universe is. So this is why from our inner void, from our nothing, is from where we can create a new universe. Don't think that, because there's a lot of people that think that when you are able to create your own universe is literally that you can create your own universe, but it's not like that. It's when you recognize that you can change your perception from the universe starts to be shaped in that same perception. So we could speak about this for longer, but we're gonna do it right now. Of course, this is not something that you have to acknowledge now. This is something that maybe will take your whole life, or maybe a lot of lives, to hold it, to integrate it. So basically, this is something that will take a lot of time to understand, because this is not something you will understand in the mind. This is something that you have to experience, to live that. So what I am just doing here is to try to explain a tiny little part of how it works. So when you experience it, you don't get afraid, and you just can relate it and understand what is happening. I said scares because it's not like literally scares, but sometimes it's like gigantism, like, oh my god, it's too much, and when you feel it. So if this is useful, it's useful. If it's not useful, doesn't matter. So let's go to the information for today. The vibration for today is so it's not like N, is inside and up. The statement for today is I am the destiny of eternity. So the code for today is the physical pattern Ka. It says, by acknowledging itself as the builder of its own reality, charts a bridge between the material and the spiritual, where it's capable of building a communication channel between mundane and divine without abandoning any of the worlds, but intertwining them. For here it knows that the truth is that there are not two worlds, but they are both it. Ka is the intense sound of the connection that knocks on the door to the spirit in matter, which is behind in the pineal and the hypophysis. So let's go to the alignment today. So we begin by stretching the body, yawning, caressing the body, and sitting comfortable. I perceive, I feel the air coming inside my whole body. I focus only in my breathing and how my entire body becomes wind. feel the air outside my body, and I perceive the wind around me connecting with the wind within myself. I perceive myself sitting at the edge of a mountain, contemplating a beautiful scene with the valley, and from that valley comes the wind that crosses through my body. I feel so light, like a feather, and I perceive the warm wind from inside of me and the cold wind from the outside, creating a vortex, a twister around my entire body. Take a deep breath and put your hands facing up to the sun. I breathe the calm in the center of this hurricane. I perceive the sun, the light of the sun, coming towards the eye of the hurricane, going through my crown, third eye, throat, heart, plexus, sacrum, root, knees, ankles, and coming out through my feet. I feel the light coming out from my body, from the feet, and going up in a spiral, spinning around like the hurricane around my whole body, reaching the crown, may feel surrounded by a twister of a rainbow. From every part of your body, the light starts to go to the palms of your hands, and you feel this rainbow light filling up your hands, perceiving the weight of it like the gold at the edge, the end of a rainbow. I recognize that for me in the past, the everything was the concept of unity. That complements myself, and nothing was the void, where nothing has any sense. But now I recognize that it's from nothing that the everything that I created, therefore, is from nothing, from where I can create a new whole, the new everything. Both of them live in me. So is this why I bring my hands to my heart to unify these two concepts as one, as the creation of one I am. Desire is sound in every direction, this consciousness. I am the everything and nothing. Both of them are one within me, for I am the destiny of eternity. I am the destiny of eternity. I am the destiny of eternity. Softly, I start to bring this consciousness to each part of my body. releasing, stretching, and yawning. Namiktagtaina Shaina O Hayat Mayu Toroid Alkanaidan Sabayum Naigamaina Tunemayo Achena Mayo Emenaina Tan Makanai Enadina Jyotimaya Dhanahadin. Tomad cada regalo, tomad cada obsequio que os estamos dando, pues no es desde el desinteresado amor adicional que se os entrega esta información. Es nuestro deber ante vuestro pedido. Sois vosotros quienes habéis pedido estas respuestas. Y es nuestro deber entregaros lo que nos habéis dado, vuestro obsequio han sido las preguntas, nuestro obsequio son las respuestas. Mas ambas son una. Vosotros nos habéis dado las respuestas para que ahora podamos entregároslas. Pues el tiempo no es lejano en que estas respuestas se convertirán en herramientas y así sabréis usarlas. Este es el gran año de la preparación de la conciencia del mundo. Pronto llegará la gran prueba. ¿Habéis estudiado bien? Ay, no. Um, she was a master, a very tall one, like 3 meters, very thin. Um, thank you for the translation, people, because I don't know what she was saying specifically. Now I forgot. Um, so thank you for the translations. Um, so she just appeared because she wanted to remind us something. So that's it. So so I just said to the Spanish people if they would be able to the transcription of what I said, but in English, so you can have it in the description of the video. So because I don't remember exactly. Um, so she wanted to talk just to say that um, the first time that happens after 3 months. So good. So rest and see you tomorrow, and we start with the emotional week. Bye.